Hey, what's going on everyone? I am the OPJellicent, and it is Thursday, so that means I got a new team building video for all of you guys today. And we're going to be building around Rock Polish Weakness Policy Tyranitar right here, which is an idea that was originally given to me by my friend Saro over on Discord, so big shoutouts to him. And I was originally not going to do it because for whatever reason, I did not think that Tyranitar got Rock Polish, but it's literally a rock monster, so not sure where that idea came from, but it does get it, so we don't have to run Dragon Dance right here, and we do get that nice speed boost right here, along with our stat boosts from the weakness policy, of course. So, of course, I will be testing out the team on the ladder after building it and making any changes to it that I do feel are necessary, so that way if you all do decide to try it out, then it is definitely going to be more improved for all of you. So, looking at the set that we're running right here, we got Rock Polish, of course, and then 3 attacks. These 3 attacks right here, Stone Edge, Ice Punch, and Fire Punch, basically allowed to hit the entire tier for at least neutral damage besides Keldeo. Keldeo is the one Pokemon that can actually take all 3 of these attacks after the weakness policy from full health, so that's definitely very good right here. And then, of course, we got the speed right here for Scarf Landorus T. The speed actually allows us to outspeed Max Speed Jolly Lando T with Choice Scarf. That's not even a set, but I figured we didn't really need the bulk for anything else because the only way you're really getting your weakness policy off without fainting is through pretty weak moves right here, like U-turn, for example, from Torn or Lando, or I guess the other option would be like pretty weak priority, like Bullet Punch, for example, or Astro Ninja's Water Shuriken, and we do get that nice Sandstream up, so that's definitely very good right here. And yeah, that's basically the Tyranitar set right now, so I'm hoping we can at least get a few sweeps with this thing, but when I was looking at Pokemon that I do want to pair this Tyranitar with, Tapu Lele immediately came into mind, and the reason for that is this Tyranitar set is weak to a lot of common priority moves, for example, Mega Scissors, Bullet Punch, and Ash Greninja's Water Shuriken, so I know we do want to activate that weakness policy, but chances are if the opponent are clicking water-type priority attacks on us or that Bullet Punch, we're probably in range of them at that point anyway, so I think Tapu Lele is a good bet right here, and I think we'll be trying to activate the weakness policy with other sorts of Pokemon that can hit Tyranitar super effectively. Like, it's able to take a Landorus' Earthquake too, which is really nice, and we can go ahead and get the weakness policy up on that, which is definitely an option, so I like that whole idea right there. And if I don't really end up taking advantage of the sand on this team, I'll probably change it to Unnerve just because I don't really see the need for sand chipping down the rest of our team right here. And another thing to actually keep in mind is if we actually chip down the opponent's entire team into range of these attacks, we don't even have to get the weakness policy off. We can just Rock Polish up and go in, so that's always an idea. But I'm going to run Scarf Lele right here just to help us get some speed control right off the bat. And I'm going to go ahead, and that's also just because I ran Specs Lele yesterday and its own live, so I didn't really want to run that again. And we'll go ahead and just run the 4 attacks variant right here. We'll go ahead and go with Psychic. There's really no point in running Psyshock on Scarf Lele the way I see it, because Chansey is able to take 2 of them anyway. So we'll go with Psychic, then we'll go with Moonblast, Focus Blast, and Hidden Power Fire. Focus Blast mainly to weaken Heatran into range of that Stone Edge in case we don't get the chance to get our weakness policy off, of course. So I do like the Focus Blast option right here, and yeah, this Tapu Lele spread can definitely help us out right off the bat. Also provides us a Keldeo check, which, as I previously said, Tyranitar cannot hit that for even neutral damage with any of these attacks right here, so Tapu Lele is definitely going to be helping out. Now, when I want to continue adding Pokemon, Cortana in particular is a giant threat already right here. I mean, even after the Rock Polish, Tyranitar does not even outspeed Choice Scarf Cortana, so that kind of just cleans our team up with the Leaf Blade right here, so a good Steel type could be good. Celesteela is right there. Ferrothorn is another option. Jirachi is pretty susceptible to knockoffs, so I don't know if I want to run that. I mean, I guess Ferrothorn is pretty weak to Sacred Sword too. Honestly, just looking at how weak we are to Cortana, I just want the hard counter in Celesteela right here. I think that's definitely the best option right now, and even though it doesn't really provide us any hazards right now, I think it's definitely a good idea. So I believe the spread actually runs a lot of SpDef now. I believe it goes all the way up to 228, I believe it helps us take a hit from Scarf Mag, but actually, I'm pretty sure the 228 only ran on EQ variants to help out against Magnezone, so maybe I'll go down to 152 right here, which is the old spread, which is still a good amount of SpDef, but it allows us to take hits for like Fightinium Z from +2 Cortana a little bit better right here, so I think I'll go ahead and do this and run. I mean, we don't really need the speed for anything. I don't want to lower my attacks, since I'm assuming I'm going to run Heavy Slam and Flamethrower anyway, so we'll go ahead and go with the leftovers and just the standard moveset right here of Leech Seed, Protect, and then 2 attacks with Heavy Slam and Flamethrower. I mean, Magnezone is a threat, don't get me wrong, because we have 2 Pokemon that are weak to it, and then Celesteela obviously just gets trapped and killed, so that's going to be something we need to take into consideration later. In fact, I could just probably solve that issue right now by adding a Landorus, but Landorus is such a boring Pokemon. I use it so often too, but I mean, it's probably the best idea right here. Is there any other cool rock setter that I could maybe try out? Anything down here? Nothing in particular looks super appealing right here. I mean, we could go with Garchomp or Drill. I haven't used Garchomp in a while, and actually Dragonium Garchomp could help us weaken some threats to Lele right here. Like Earthquake can pressure Jirachi quite nicely, as well as Magearna, opening up the door for a Scarf Lele clean right here, which could be very good. Yeah, that looks like it actually sounds like a great idea right here, because it also provides us the rocks that I wanted, so let's go ahead and do this. And we actually do have Sandveil, but I'm going to run Rough Skin anyway, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and take this Sandstream off here and just run Unnerve right now, because I'm running Rough Skin on this, and I don't really see the need to do that. Like, if my opponent has a random Yachi Berry Landorus, which, I mean, obviously we have the speed investment to Scarf, so Unnerve could be good against random resist berries that my opponent may have. I mean, I guess the only other thing would be like Oka Berry Ferrothorn, but I'm pretty sure even Oka Berry Ferrothorn dies to Fire Punch at +2, so that's good. And I can go ahead and run, I think I'll just run the Swords Dance offensive set right here with Swords Dance Stealth Rocks and then Dual Stab, Z Outrage, and Earthquake. I could go with Groundium Z, but I mean, Tapu Fini is not really a threat to Tapu Lele anyway. And I'm just going to go ahead and run probably Dragonium, as I said. Yeah, let's go ahead and go with Dragonium right here, just for that powered up Z Outrage. Could help us weaken Landorus T in case it is Helmet for our Tyranitar as well. And I like the combination right here. I definitely think the team looks unique, but also very viable at the same time right here. So, looks very cool. I'll go ahead and go with a nice and jolly nature. And then I'll go ahead and put this last 4 into defense right here. So, max speed Timid right here, or I guess max speed Jolly, allows us to outspeed Thundurus Therian no matter what, which is not a very common Pokemon, but it's definitely something you do want to keep in mind. And 2 slots left on the team. Still no Ash Greninja switch in, really. I mean, like, nothing takes a water type attack. I need something to help out against that. I also do need hazard control of my own, because T-Spikes could be really frustrating, but none of the other hazards are really that bad right here. Celesteela cares about none of them, not even webs. Garchomp could care about webs and doesn't want to get worn down by Spikes or T-Spikes. So let's look for hazard control, even though we're not super weak to hazards, while we keep in mind for the remaining Pokemon. I mean, Rotom Wash could provide us with that water resist that I was talking about, but I'm pretty sure that set's to it KO'd by Dark Pulse anyway. So probably not in my best interest. Superior right here could actually get access to Defog now too. And I could run like, actually AV Superior could not run Defog. I was thinking about running like some sort of cheesy AV Superior to lure Gren, and then try to like run Defog on it, but I can't actually do that, so that's unfortunate. Zapdos is another option. It would provide us a Koko Lucha check too, which is definitely going to be big, because after Celesteela takes a bit of damage, we're kind of weak to that Pokemon. So that's an option. Koko is always there too, but the Koko set that I like to run with Defog actually runs Z-Move. I could run Leftovers on it, I guess. It could help us out against Hawlucha even more. So let's go ahead and do that right now, and let's go ahead and I think I'll just go with, I mean, kind of running a Leftovers set with no bulk is kind of like a bad idea, but it's honestly the best option right here, because I don't want to run Zapdos, which is weak to hazards in the first place, so let's go ahead and I think just do this right now is the better option. I'll go ahead and run minus defense right here, and I'll put the 4 in Spidaf just in case it doesn't end up mattering against Ash Greninja's Water Shuriken, since that is obviously a giant threat here. And I'll go ahead and run, I think I'll probably run maybe Leftovers as I said, and then Defog, U-Turn, just for momentum, because I want to get in my heavy hitters like Garchomp and Lele as much as I can. And then I think I'll go ahead and run Thunderbolt and Roost. So this also provides us a nice Zapdos check, or I guess Zapdos switch in mainly because, I mean, Toxic Zapdos could be annoying, but I don't want anything else coming in hard on a switch in, like Garchomp doesn't want to take HP Ice, Celesteela obviously is not coming in, Tapu Lele could come in, but then you're just getting Discharge paralyzed, so Tapu Koko kind of provides us a reliable answer to that right here, and yeah, obviously Leftovers with no bulk, well I guess we have 4 in Spidaf, but basically no bulk is kind of bad, but I think it can actually get the job done right here, and one last slot, I think I might have to change the Celesteela to a Ferrothorn as much as I don't want to, because Ash Greninja is still looking like a huge problem. Yeah, do I just do that now? I think that might be the only thing that I can do right here, because, I mean, I'm going to add a Mega for my last slot, pretty much, so I don't know if I want to keep Celesteela. I'm just going to go ahead and change it and then add the last Mega based on that. So we'll go ahead and go with Ferrothorn instead, and we'll run Stealth Rock on this. Well, actually, we already have a Rocker, so I can actually Spike Stack. Spikes plus Rocks could be really great in helping out our Tyranitar right here, so we'll go with Spikes, Gyro Ball, Power Whip, and Then we'll go ahead and go with the Leech Seed just like our Celesteela, so kind of fulfills the same role as a Fairy Resist, and it still is able to take Kartana's Leaf Blade, which is a giant problem right here, but the bigger difference is once this thing gets weakened, we basically get 6-0'd by Kartana on the spot, so that's really scary, but we kind of have to deal with it just to help out with our grand weakness. And I'll go ahead and run this right here. I think the main rule is I'm just going to never switch this in if I say Kartana until the Kartana's gone. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. And we'll just go ahead and run the standard spread right here of minus speed just because we want to power up our Gyro Ball as much as possible. One less slot right here. Let's go ahead and type in Mega and see what Megas are cool. Aerodactyl is weak to rocks, and I'm not really about that, so let's go ahead and find something else. Deontay could be a hazard to turn with Magic Bounce. I ran Mega Deontay plus Lele yesterday though, so I don't really know if I want to do that. Mega Lopunny could be good for speed control, because the only other speed control we really have right now is Scarf Lele, so Mega Lopunny can outspeed Ash Greninja after the Battle Bond, which is really nice. And it also provides us Fake Out pressure. Obviously we can't Fake Out under Psychic Terrain, but we have another terrain too, which we could always switch it up, and then we can go ahead and get in Lopunny at the correct time. I think I'll go ahead and run Lopunny right here. I think it could be another nice win con. The way I see this team working is my opponent, I have so many win cons right here between Lopunny, Lele, and Tyranitar that my opponent might be overwhelmed by all of them, and I may be able to go ahead and clutch out the game with one of them. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this to work right here. So I'll go with Fake Out, and then I'll go ahead and run, of course, Return, or I guess Frustration, just in case Ditto becomes a thing. And then finally I'll go ahead and run Ice Punch right here. So I'll go ahead and run Max Attack. 136 attack. I actually never even realized it was that high. I don't know why. I always thought it was a 135 for whatever reason, but Max Speed Jolly, and then finally 4 in defense right here. So I like the look of the team. We got a lot of offense right here, which is definitely a playstyle I love playing. Let me just make sure my abilities are all correct. I changed this to Unnerve, Psychic Surge, Rough Skin, Electric Surge, Iron Barbs, and of course Scrappy right here. So yeah, I like it, and let's go ahead and hop into the games right now. Okay, I got the first game right here. My opponent is running a Sun team, so you know, I could have really taken advantage of that, of course, the Sandstream, but unfortunately I did not decide to do that right here. In terms of threats to my opponent, Tapu Lele, I want to try to get up rocks as soon as possible as my opponent decides to lead off with Landorus T. I think right here I probably just want to go for SD. My opponent just Scarf and crits the EQ. It looks like it would have 2-hit KO'd anyway, but I have to switch out now. And Ferrothorn is my switch in. It doesn't actually do anything here, so let's go ahead and do that and then lead sheet up now. As I of course miss, so this is off to a great start. Let's go ahead and go Tyranitar now and try to live this and get our weakness policy going, ideally. Maybe. Nice, so that's a thing. I'm in range of Shuriken though, which is a problem. I'm going to go ahead and Ice Punch here. Ideally my opponent doesn't go hard Greninja. But this is pretty cool. I'm able to go ahead and get this activated right off the first bat, so let's see what my opponent decides to bring in. Because nothing is really taking this on too well. I mean, Greninja could be a problem, Scarf Victini could be a problem, Torkoal decides to come out, so I will Ice Punch that, and then as long as my Stone Edge hits, I'm able to get rid of the Sunsetters, so that's great. Venusaur decides to come out next. Okay, so Landorus is a problematic Pokemon, clearly. In fact, I gotta keep my Lele healthy just for that. So I'll go for Stone Edge here. Maybe I should have Rock Polished again on the switch to Torkoal. I probably just won had I done that. So now what I can do here is just go out into my Lopunny. Yeah, imagine if I Rock Polished again. That would have been such a cool play. But then I guess he had Shuriken anyway, so I'll go right here for Fake Out. And then go right for a Frustration next. I think I'll live anything unless it's Bloom Doom. Of course, my opponent hits a Sleep Powder, so that's great. I'll go right for... Okay, well, my opponent tried to go off Sleep Turns, which is interesting. This Landorus is still a problem, though, and I don't like that. Victini comes out. Is this going to be Z Celebrate? Nope. Well, it still could be, of course. But if it is Scarf now, I am going to be in a much better spot versus it. Landorus is a problem, though. I'm going to go ahead and bring out my Victini here, my Lopunny, and just go ahead and click Frustration. I think this dies due to the defense drop, so that's cool. Hard Landorus, no fear on that. I'll click Ice Punch here, as my opponent decides to U-turn, I guess just to put me in range of... Okay, so this is Protean. I guess just to put me in range of the U-turn. Decides to go for Low Kick, which I'm able to chew up, nice. I'll be clicking Psychic now, I think. and getting rid of the Greninja, so that's cool. I gotta keep my something out of range of the Landorus, though, which is going to be a threat. And what I also gotta do right here is sack off my Koko to the V-Create. Go ahead and bring this thing back out now. Hit him up with the Return. Or I guess Frustration here. Which, once again, I think should kill him. So I'll go ahead and Frustration again now. And then I guess Victini may actually be able to clean it out for him. Perhaps. Goes Landorus first, though, so I guess he's going to try to go for the Earthquake. But I get rid of the Pokemon, which is cool. Can Victini beat the rest of my team? Is the question. So my play here is always to switch out on the Bolt Strike. So that's a little bit of an issue because I can't actually go for my thing. But it's actually not Scarf, so it looks like I'll be able to win here. Which is definitely not a game I should have won by any means. I mean, I should have just Rock Polished again with my Tyranitar, but yeah, that's the game right there. Not quite sure how we won that, but I mean, I'll take it, and my opponent already left the battle. I should have just made the play with my Tyranitar and just Rock Polished and swept through his team. That would have been so funny, but unfortunately, I did not do that right there. We won anyway, though, and I'll be right back with another game. Okay, I got our next game right here. I'm really hoping this is not Bullet Punch Mega Medicham, because if it is, it could actually threaten Tyranitar, but in terms of winning right here, Tapu Lele just looks great. This Slurpuff is a giant threat. I'm going to go ahead and lead off here with my Garchomp. Slurpuff leads. I mean, this is a threat to my team. I'm not going to not Earthquake it. In fact, if he Belly Drums right away, I might lose. Unless Earthquake actually does enough. Or I guess it could put it in range of Fake Out, which is cool. I mean, I probably should switch out, but like then what am I switching to? It actually brings it down to a Sash. I guess it's a Webs lead then. Yeah, go ahead and do that, and I guess it's going to Endeavor here, so I'm just going to Earthquake again. Why did it outspeed me the second time? Oh, and Burden, right. Okay, so he's able to go ahead and bring my Garchomp down to 1%. I mean, I'm just glad it's not Belly Drum, because that would have been something else. What comes out here, though? Like, for real, nothing's... I mean, he can go Medicham and Fake Out. Yeah, which I guess he's going to try to do here. I'm not going Lele. I'm not going Koko. Ferrothorn is pretty expendable. So let's go ahead and hit that boy with the Fake Out, and then follow it up with a nice... I guess just a Gyro Ball here is fine. Let's hope he like tries to expect the Protect or whatever. And go for like Ice Punch. That would be best case scenario. But I want to try to get the Tyranitar win this time. I mean, but the only thing that could actually activate my weakness policy are Drill and Feeny. Unless it's superpowered Darmanitan, which I will not be living one of those, so... Decides to go ahead and go Darmanitan and give me a critical hit. Well, he didn't decide the crit part, but I crit him, which is cool. And what I will be doing now is going... Do I still need this? I said I don't, so I'm just going to Gyro Ball. As Fire Punch blows me away. Scarf Lele will outspeed him. If he's Scarf, then I should live a Fire Punch, so I'll go out into this here and click Psychic. This has to go Drill. Let's see if this gets 2-hit KO'd. It does not. Very spit F Drill right there. This Drill's a problem. If it SD's up right here, I think I just lose. Goes for Earthquake. This speed boost is going to be annoying. Okay, so I'm going to bring this out here and then go right for a high jump kick. On incoming Zapdos, it appears to be Helmet. I'll double to Koko here and really hope my opponent doesn't make a double to Drill. As my opponent just goes for Roost, so I can defog these away now, which is going to really free up my Lele win con, which is what I'm trying to win with, of course, so... Goes right back to Drill, which is fine. I want to get this T-Tar win, so I'm going to... Do I sack here, or do I just try to... Because, like, Koko's not going to help me out a ton. I guess it kind of wins the game, too. Everything wins the game here, so what do I do? I could just U-turn back to my... I feel like Lopunny has the least chance of winning. So let's bring this out and just click... Just click Frustration on what I'm assuming is going to be another Zapdos. Yep, bring it down. go out into my Koko here on the Roost, which is fine. We'll go ahead and maybe Thunderbolt for 36%. Back to Drill. Yeah, you know what? I want to get this T-Tar win. I don't care if it costs me the game. I just want the win with T-Tar, please. So yeah, go ahead and take this. Give me the switch into this. I can Rock Polish up here. Earthquake's gonna hurt. But I think I can eat one and get my stat boosts. And then damage on Feeny probably means Scarf Lele sweep is what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at this. Man, I should have Focus Blasted the Excadrill the original time, because I could have actually guaranteed the Lele win now. Go Zapdos, so that's interesting. I'll be clicking Stone Edge here and knocking it out. Nice, get out of there. Hopefully my opponent doesn't go hard Medi. Yeah, nice, goes Feeny, and this is what I need. So please Moonblast me. Lovely. So now I actually won the game there, but now I have to Stone Edge and hope it crits, or maybe knock it out anyway. Nice, so we get the revenge hacks right there, and I think, unless he's Bullet Punch, I win the game. He has to go off a miss on Darm. Actually, Darm's in range. Yeah, Darm's gonna go down to +2 Fire Punch. So get out of there. And we get the Tyranitar sweep, which is really cool, and my opponent's going to go ahead and disconnect. I think it's a safe assumption that my opponent is not coming back right here, so Tyranitar is able to go ahead and clutch the game. I'm really glad I was able to go ahead and hit the Stone Edge right there with a critical hit after missing the first one, because if I hit the first one, I guaranteed one right there, so we're able to go ahead and clutch out the win, and I'll be right back with another game. Okay, I got the next game right here. This is an interesting game because I'm very weak to Zygarde. My opponent is very weak to Tyranitar and Lele. So I'm going to go ahead and lead off here with Garchomp, expecting Zygarde lead. My opponent decides to lead off with Mew. I'm going to go ahead and Devastating Drake this right away. If you're Scarf Ice Beam, good play. Not going to try to play around it. I could just go Koko too. I'm going to go Koko. I don't think he's going to... He's probably going to Will-O-Wisp, right? So there's an Ice Beam. I'm glad I switched out, to be honest. I feel like that was the better option. And I'll go ahead and just click Thunderbolt now. Bring him down. And Defog now. I'm assuming a Soft Boiled comes out, and right? And now what I can do is just go ahead and Thunderbolt again. My opponent's just waiting to get paralyzed, clearly. Yeah, eventually I'll paralyze this. If I don't paralyze after 10, it's kind of hacks, don't you think? I'll go ahead and defog here. I don't know why my opponent's not just going Zygarde and claiming. Like, that's clearly the better play here. Alright, so I have clicked, what, 3? I think 4 Thunderbolts now. 4 Thunderbolts, so ideally I paralyze within the next 6. Because he can't synchronize the paralyze back to me, right? So actually goes Charizard, so I'm going to U-turn here. As it is actually Charizard X, so this is a problem. I'm going to go Garchomp on the Fire Punch, so we're able to go ahead and get that play right. And I'm going to SD up on the Torn. Is this going to be Z? I'm going to go Tapu Koko. Yeah, it's Z. I couldn't risk that. I'll go ahead and Roost up again on the Ferrothorn. U-turn out here. I want to get my own Rocks up, but I'm assuming he's going to try to get his up now too. Yeah, you know what? If you're going to Spike Stack me, I'm going to Spike Stack you. I don't want Charizard coming back in though, because it basically wins the game. I'm thinking my opponent might expect... Well, he knows that I'm not Scarf now, which is a problem. But I'm thinking they may not actually have a Dragon-type attack on that Charizard. Okay, so I'm assuming they may go out into Charizard now, so I'll go ahead and Lead Sheet here. Actually goes Torn, so I guess they might be interested in defogging. I'll Spike up though, and then Gyro Ball here. Actually, I think Lead Sheet again is pretty safe. On the Toxapex. Oh no, this is actually great. I need damage on Toxapex, but I can't let T-Specs go up, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this out. And go ahead and probably just click Thunderbolt is what I'm thinking. Yeah, Thunderbolt's fine. As my opponent goes right back to Ferrothorn. Takes a ton. I can always Roost this back up, but I don't really see the need to do anything except go Ferrothorn here. on the Power Whip. Yeah, so all this damage that I'm getting on this is great for my Tapu Lele sweep, so that's looking pretty good here. I'll go ahead and leech up, as it appears this might be something my opponent's actually interested in trying to do. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I can just go Garchomp, I think. I really don't want to sit here all day. Because, like, my opponent's getting lefties back, and it's not worth it for me. So I'll throw up rocks now, and see what happens. Because the rocks plus 3 layers of spikes is going to overwhelm my opponent at the end of the day. So I'll Devastating Drake here on what I'm assuming is going to be a defog. Because I have rocks up now, too, and I don't know if that's something my opponent can actually afford to deal with. It appears there's something they're interested in affording to deal with. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna start to win. Oh my god, why? I was hoping my opponent would go for U-turn there, and I won the game on the spot. That's so sad. It's okay though. I'll go ahead and bring out my Lopunny now, and a Lopunny can win the game too, which is cool. I'll click Frustration here, and it should knock out Torn due to the defense drop, but that's just so sad. Because if they U-turn there, I would have won on the spot with Ice Punch, Stone Edge, and all that. So Torn is going to go down right there, which is cool. I don't even know if anything can actually take the hit. I mean, Mew can, but it's not going to appreciate it. F38? No, no way. What? You get out of there. I was going to say, what, 38%? There's no way that's taking it. Zygarde, I do have Ice Punch here. Zygarde goes down, nice. So we're getting somewhere here. Brings out Toxapex. I will always go Tapu Koko, I think, on the recover, and then click Thunderbolt here. Actually, I think U-turn's probably better. I'll click Thunderbolt. And then Thunderbolt again now. No, I got a U-turn, because if my opponent goes Charizard, then I kind of lose. So now I can go out into my Lopunny here. I think Fake Out first on a potential... He's not going to have Protect. He already showed like Spikes and the other thing, so I'm able to knock that out. Toxapex comes back out. This should die to Frustration from 37. Nice, and Charizard is going to die to Frustration from 29. So I don't know why my opponent didn't defog, but that superpower was so sad. That was actually... I was really hoping to sweep my opponent with Tyranitar right there, but we won anyway at the end of the day, which is definitely what matters the most, so... That was enjoyable, and I'll be right back with another game. Okay, I got the next game right here. That last game was, I mean, we won, but that Tyranitar superpower was so sad. I'll go ahead and lead off here with my Tapu Koko. I'm going to stop talking about that now because I'm assuming it's getting kind of repetitive. Let's go ahead and see. I mean, Zygarde's a giant threat as a lead, though. Okay, Torn lead. That's good. I'm going to U-turn here. Who stays in? Huh? What if I... Actually, I guess it's kind of an okay playing staying in, because if my opponent is Banded Zygarde, you get to kill with that after, so... I mean, I kind of understand. Ferrothorn is my switch on the U-turn. I mean, Ferrothorn is my Grand Check, so I gotta be careful, but... U-turn comes out. I'll go Garchomp here on Stealth Rock. Get up my own. My opponent clearly loves just leaving in Pokemon that are weak to other things, so let's see if he does it again right here, and decides to Flash Cannon. Yeah, that's clearly something they're interested in. And I'm assuming now either Tangrowth comes out, or I'll just go for Devastating Drake and knock out the Torn. And let's see what comes out next. Greninja comes out. I have Ferrothorn just for this. So Dark Pulse is going to happen. I get a very sweet Spike. Okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to try to predict around this guy anymore. Let's go for Power Whip. And get in Tyranitar now. I think Rock Polish up on the Zygarde. Click Ice Punch here. Knock out the Zygarde. Goes Mawile. So this is going to attack drop me, which is a little bit of an issue. Garchomp's actually not the sack. So what wins here? Lele can win. It's also my check to this. Lopunny can easily win. Maybe Garchomp is the sack. Yeah, Garchomp's the sack. Because I get damage off for Koko. So yeah, Koko can come out now and just click Thunderbolt. Yeah, like I said, I'm not predicting around this guy anymore. He just leaves in on a Pokemon on whatever. So I'll go ahead and take the kill. And then U-turn out here. Just for a bit of more damage and bring in Tyranitar once again. And now what I get to do is go ahead and... I mean, there's really no point in clicking anything but Stone Edge. but my opponent's just gonna stay in, yeah, so like, why risk it? That's all this guy does, he just stays in on everything. So there's a Hydro Pump. I get to win the game right here, ideally. On the frustration. I don't even think it's worth risking high jump kick just yet. I think I can win without high jump kick, but I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, I knocked that out, and I don't even got to risk anything here. Let's go Koko. Bring this back in. Hit him up with the frustration and call that a game right there. So my opponent made some really weird plays in that game. I mean, they were pretty high on the ladder too, 1836, but I don't know why they stayed in turn 1 with Torn. I don't know why they stayed in turn 3 with Heatran. Those were two really confusing plays, so eventually I shifted my playstyle to just attacking what was in front of me, and it ended up working out, so that was cool, and I'll be right back with another game. Okay, I got the next game right here. My opponent is running a variant of Semi-Stall, it looks like, or it could just be Balance, you could call it that too, with a Sully Hippo defensive core with a Mungus, and then some offense right here with the Garchomp, Drill, and Gren. So I'm thinking Tyranitar is actually great, just rock polishing up with the weakness policy. I may want to win with that. But he has a Greninja, so that's kind of stopping that. I'm thinking maybe Drill is a good lead on my opponent's part because I'm so weak to ground. So I'll lead off here with Garchomp. On Celesteela, okay, so not the best. I'll go Tapu Koko here. If my opponent doubles to a ground type, great play. I'm so tempted to just Earthquake. But then if Garchomp gets weakened, that's one of my best breakers, just weakened for no reason. Yeah, I'll go Koko. Like, it is so obvious that Garchomp or Drill, or even Hippo are coming out. Of course I find triple ground with no ground resist. If my opponent loses this, then I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, the only way, basically all my opponent actually has to do here to win is just click Earthquake, like with every single Pokemon in this team. Even this might have Earthquake. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I guess the one stop to that would be my weakness policy T-Tar. If my opponent decides to go ahead and Earthquake with Hippo, then I could activate that, but I still think I won't knock it out, and then I could get Whirlwinded out in return, so that could be a little bit problematic. So it goes for Leech Seed. I'm assuming Protect comes out here, but I'm just going to go ahead and Thunderbolt anyway. And then click Thunderbolt again. I know my opponent has 3 ground types, but I'm clicking Thunderbolt. Just because their mindset might be, I have 3 ground types, there's no way he Thunderbolts again, it would be a bad play, so I actually think Thunderbolt right here could be a good play to weaken this for my Garchomp. So my opponent does make a good play and goes out into his Amoonguss. I'll go ahead and U-turn out here to scout for Helmet. Yeah, it is Helmet, and he can't actually put anything to sleep right now, so I could go Tyranitar and try to do some work on a Giga Drain. What would my opponent click here? Probably Giga Drain. I'll go Ferrothorn. Stun Spore, okay, so I'm glad I didn't go out into my Tyranitar. I can spike up now pretty freely, and not really have to care. I mean, my opponent can go back to Selly, which probably has Flamethrower. It'll give me a Roost with my Koko, though, and Koko should be able to take a Heavy Slam coming in from 58.4%, so that looks pretty good to me, and from there I can go ahead and, I don't know, I actually don't see any changes I want to make to the team, aside from maybe changing Garchomp to a Landorus. That's going to do nothing. I'm not sure why they're opting to do that. But I'm going to switch out anyway because this is my Greninja check, and I'm going to go Koko here on a Drill. So this could be Scarf, and if it is Scarf, that's going to be a problem. Do I go back to Ferrothorn? No, I mean, if he is Scarf, I just got to sack this. But, I mean, is there a Pokemon that's worth sacking more? Lele is actually a threat to my opponent, so that's not worth it. Garchomp's a threat to my opponent. I'm going to U-turn here. And then SD up with my Garchomp is what I'm thinking. As my opponent goes Celesteela, I Dragonium that. I just gotta get a bit of damage on that Selly, so I'm gonna get an Garchomp here on the Earthquake, so that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and Earthquake here, as obvious as Selly is. Like, I'm not about predicting against this guy. I think if I play it slowly, I can eventually win with my combination of T-Tar plus Lele. Or even if I get some damage off on a Moongus, then I could win with my Lopunny as well. But I gotta be careful about not getting swept by a Scarf Chomp. In fact, Scarf Chomp reaches, I believe, 332 speed? 333, and then 1.5, so it'll get around 200, I can't math. But I know it allowed speed my Tyranitar after a Rock Polish, I think, because I go up to 466, 333 times 1.5 is definitely higher than 466, so that's a problem if it is Scarf Chomp. I may need 2 Rock Polishes. My opponent's thinking here. But yeah, there's no way I'm going to not Earthquake. I don't care if you do that. And as always, I'll go back to Koko. Wow, that actually killed. I'm genuinely surprised that managed to do kill right there. Alright, well I gotta somehow break this Pokemon and open up a door for something else, so... It's time to start doing some work, I think. And clicking Fire Punch here. My opponent probably goes Hippo. Hippo or Drill or Garchomp are my opponent's plays here. Or stay in. Best case, my opponent goes a Moongus and just gives me damage off on that. Yeah, I gotta figure something out here. I'm gonna calc something. Do I knock out Hippo? Let's say it's mixed defensive. OU physically defensive, okay. Against Tyranitar. So let's say Choice Band at +1, that's basically the same thing with Ice Punch. No, it's not gonna do anything. Wow, Hippo's so bulky. But I got some nice damage on it, which is cool. I don't know if I can win this. Like, my opponent's defensive core right here is just so problematic for my team. I'm going to Ice Punch here, though. On the rocks, so that's a little bit of a mistake on my opponent's part. As they're going to continue slacking off, I'm just going to wait for them to Earthquake me. That's my plan here. Because I gotta start breaking somehow. I gotta force out that Garchomp, which is the only Pokemon that can actually knock me out after. It'll Earthquake something. I think it'll sack off my Ferrothorn. I have to go Lele after and get a prediction right. I mean, he has a Celesteela, so it's not much of a prediction at all. Or maybe I just try to Rock Polish up now and try to win with that. I gotta like somehow predict the Earthquake turn correctly, which is gonna be really hard. On more slack off. Okay, so this is where the Earthquake comes out, but I got Ice Punch. Yeah, now that... Wow, I'm still not going to 2-hit KO. But I will Ice Punch again here for the damage. Man, I went, what, 10 Ice Punches without freezing? 6? Maybe 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hard Greninja is ideally... That was a very questionable play. Had I Rock Polish there? No, Hippo would have lived. Well, anyway, I stay in here and Rock Polish. As my opponent goes ahead and gets their Battle Bond, I'll go ahead and bring out my Tapu Lele now. And my only hope right here is that my opponent decides to stay in and not go Selly. But they make a smart play, and I don't see how I break through this team. Yeah, I can't break this team, unfortunately, just due to matchup alone, and triple ground is just a giant problem. So I'm going to go ahead and concede this game right here, and I'll go ahead and forfeit. So that it is what it is right there. I really think I had no matchup just from team preview alone. He was really high on the ladder too, thankfully, so I didn't lose a ton of points based on that. Still in the 1800s, and I don't want to end it off right there. We started off 4-0, and then we ended up losing right there, so I want to get another game, and I'll be right back. Alright, I got the next game right here, definitely going to be our last one, because I'm pretty sure I'm already approaching 40 minutes right here, and that's about how long I like to keep the team builders, so... Tyranitar is actually a very viable win con. This is clearly just setup spam with Dragon Dance, Gyarados, Dragon Dance, Zygarde, maybe Rock Polish Landorus, it could be Sash Lead. I'll lead off with this, it's Protean, so I gotta switch out. Yeah, I don't really need Ferrothorn for anything else, to be honest. It's helpful against Gyarados, but it could be Flynium. Ice Beam comes out. I get Crit Turn 1, which is, it is what it is. I'll go ahead and start the Spike Stack here. Alright, so my opponent actually decided to go ahead and Hidden Power Fire. Which I don't know if I mind too much. I'm going to go ahead and just sack this off. So if I go Tyranitar here and the Rock Polish up, I could actually put in a ton of work right off the bat, because... Let's say the U-turn, right? Now, it's not worth doing it so early. I was really considering doing that right there, but I see Psychic as much of a more free opportunity right here, so... I'm going to go ahead and do that, get some nice damage off on Tran for Stone Edge, which my opponent decided to just give me the grind instead, so... That's cool. And Gyarados comes out here. I mean, all I gotta do against Gyarados is make sure that he doesn't get 2 Dragon Dances. This comes out. Is it Scarf? Nope. Is it Sash? Nope. Okay, so we managed to get out of that pretty ahead, which is nice. What comes out now? Gyarados? Zygarde? Bulu. I don't really need this. I'm just going to SD up again and start Earthquaking. Actually, no, let's just get up Rocks. Yeah, I don't really need this. I mean, maybe he'll expect Poison Jab and switch out to Tran here. That would be best case. It basically gives me Rocks and a free EQ. But my opponent's not going to have to do that. So I don't even think my Tyranitar is going to live this, so I got to make a different play. And go Koko here. Just to reverse the terrain and get a U-turn out, I think. Yeah, so they're just going to Horn Leech again, so I think I'm just going to go Lopunny here and take the hit as I should and just fake out into return here. So the reason I made that maneuver is because my Lopunny is super low on health now, so when I get all my damage off, my opponent won't be too healthy. So decides to go Zygarde. I'm just not sure if this is Bandit E-Speed. But keeping Tapu Bulu healthy on is definitely a good move on my opponent's end. There's an E-Speed. It appears to be lefties. Yo, do I do this? You know what? It's the last game. I'm gonna go for this. 1000 arrows me, please. Come on, just click 1000 arrows. I'll be so happy. Because he's like, assuming I'm Mega. Well, he knows that I'm not Mega. There we go. And I can live an E-Speed from 16. So let's do this work. Yeah, there's no way E-Speed's killing me from 16%. Yeah, okay, nice. And I don't know if my opponent can stop this. I believe this will be the last game. And I don't think there's anything my opponent can do here, because Gyarados will take too many Rock Switch-ins. So out comes Tapu Bulu. I did just reveal Ice Punch, which I will be clicking again. It's going to get rid of the Bulu. Nice, I get some nice grassy terrain, and that is going to be the game, I think. Unless I miss Stone Edge, which is obviously a possibility too. I'm definitely talking too soon right here. But I'm not switching out into my Lele, which is the best play. I'm gonna go for this win with my Mon here. And there's the forfeit, so Tyranitar is able to go ahead and close up the last game right there, which is definitely very cool. We end up at 1823, ended up being a 5-1 live, which is definitely very great. Did hope you guys all enjoyed, of course. Once again, the team will be down below in the description in case you guys do want to try it out. The one change that I might consider making is changing my Garchomp to a Landorus, just because no ground resist on the team, which is definitely a problem, but I definitely think that was probably one of my most fun lives right there. I said definitely like 4 times, but yeah, once again, the team will be down below, and I'll see you next time. Later.